Hello, devoted fans of Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to TV Days Drama Digest, your go-to source for the juiciest updates, the most heart-wrenching twists, and the deepest dives into the tangled lives of Salem's most iconic characters. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a mystery that has set the fandom ablaze, a plot twist so audacious it's left us all questioning everything we thought we knew about one of the show's most enigmatic figures, Tony DiMera. Is Tony really who he claims to be? Or has his sinister brother, Andre, pulled off the ultimate deception, stepping into Tony's shoes to wreak havoc on the DiMera legacy and the town of Salem? Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into this labyrinth of lies, betrayal, and family secrets, and we're not holding back. Let's unravel the truth, or what's left of it, together. The DiMera dynasty, a legacy built on power and deception. For decades, the DiMera family has been the beating heart of Days of Our Lives, a dynasty synonymous with wealth, power, and unrelenting drama. At the center of it all has been Tony DiMera, the suave, sophisticated, and occasionally ruthless heir to Stefano DiMera's empire. Tony, with his charm and calculated demeanor, has always been a fan favorite, a man who walks the fine line between hero and villain with effortless grace. His love for the DiMera legacy is legendary. His devotion to family, honor, and tradition has defined him, even when his actions veered into morally gray territory. But lately, something about Tony feels off. The man we've watched navigate the treacherous waters of Salem's power struggles seems to be unraveling, revealing a darker, more calculating side that doesn't align with the Tony we've come to know and love. The whispers started small, like ripples in a pond, but they've grown into a tidal wave of suspicion. Fans on X have been buzzing with theories, and the speculation has reached a fever pitch. Is Tony DiMera still Tony DiMera? Or has his infamous brother, Andre, long thought dead, returned to claim the DiMera throne in the most diabolical way possible? The idea that Andre could be masquerading as Tony is the kind of jaw-dropping twist Days of Our Lives is famous for, and it's got us all on the edge of our seats. But to understand the weight of this revelation, we need to go back, way back, to the roots of the DiMera family's tangled history. Tony and Andre, a tale of two brothers. The DiMera family has never been short on drama, but the rivalry between Tony and Andre is the stuff of soap opera legend. Tony, the polished, aristocratic son of Stefano, was groomed to carry the DiMera name with pride. He was the heir apparent, the one who embodied his father's vision of power tempered with sophistication. Andre, on the other hand, was the dark mirror, a man driven by ambition, envy, and a willingness to cross any line to get what he wanted. Where Tony sought to preserve the family legacy, Andre sought to dominate it, often with a cruelty that made even Stefano wince. Andre's history is littered with schemes so devious they'd make Machiavelli blush. From faking his own death, more times than we can count, to manipulating those closest to him, Andre has always been a wild card, a master of disguise and deception. His supposed death years ago was met with skepticism by Salem's residents. After all, DiMera's have a knack for cheating the Grim Reaper. But could Andre have pulled off his greatest con yet, assuming Tony's identity to seize control of the DiMera empire? The evidence is mounting, and it's impossible to ignore. Maggie's confrontation, a friend's desperate plea. The first crack in Tony's facade came during a heart-wrenching confrontation with Maggie Horton, one of Salem's most beloved figures. Maggie, with her unshakable moral compass and fierce loyalty to those she loves, has always seen the good in Tony, even when others doubted him. But in a recent episode, Maggie's faith was put to the test. Standing face-to-face with the man she's called a friend for years, she laid bare her concerns, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and determination. "You're not the Tony I know," she said, her words cutting through the tension like a knife. "The Tony I know would never stoop to this level of cruelty." Maggie's accusation wasn't just a gut punch, it was a wake-up call for viewers. She pointed to Tony's recent actions, His relentless pursuit of the DiMera legacy, his cold dismissal of those who stood in his way, and his almost obsessive fixation on reclaiming every piece of the DiMera fortune. From the sprawling mansion to the smallest stock holdings. This wasn't the Tony who fought for his family with honor. This was a man driven by greed and vengeance, traits that align far more closely with Andre's playbook. Tony's response? A chilling insistence that he was simply protecting the family legacy. "Everything I do is for the DiMera's," he declared, his eyes glinting with a conviction that felt more sinister than noble. But Maggie wasn't buying it, and neither are we. The Tony we know would fight for his family, yes, but he'd do it with a sense of duty, not with the ruthless ambition of a man possessed. Maggie's confrontation was a turning point, a moment that forced us to question whether the man standing before her was Tony DiMera or someone far more dangerous. The clues. Is Tony really Andre? Let's break it down. The case for Tony being Andre is built on a series of subtle but damning clues, each one a breadcrumb leading us deeper into the mystery. First, there's Tony's behavior. The Tony DiMera we've followed for years is a man of nuance, a strategist who balances loyalty with pragmatism. But the Tony we're seeing now? He's ruthless, almost gleefully so, as if he's relishing the chaos he's sowing. His pursuit of the DiMera legacy isn't just about preserving it. It's about owning it, controlling it, bending it to his will. That's not Tony's style, it's Andre's. Then there's the matter of the DiMera property. Tony has always valued the family's legacy as a symbol of their enduring power, but he's never been one to obsess over material wealth. Yet, in recent episodes, he's been laser-focused on reclaiming every asset tied to the DiMera name, from the mansion to obscure offshore accounts. This fixation feels personal, almost vengeful, as if he's trying to erase any trace of his rival's influence. Andre, with his history of coveting everything Tony had, would stop at nothing to claim the DiMera fortune as his own. And let's not forget the physical tells. Fans on X have pointed out subtle differences in Tony's demeanor. His smirk is a little too sharp, his laughter a little too cold. Even his wardrobe, once impeccably tailored to reflect his aristocratic roots, now leans toward flashier, more ostentatious choices, the kind of thing Andre might favor to assert his dominance. These changes are small, but in the world of Days of Our Lives, where every glance and gesture carries weight, they're impossible to ignore. The Andre hypothesis, a master of disguise. If Tony is Andre, how did he pull it off? The answer lies in Andre's unparalleled talent for deception. This is a man who's faked his death so many times that Salem's coroner probably keeps a revolving door for him. Disguising himself as Tony wouldn't be a stretch. Andre has the resources, the cunning, and the motive. Perhaps he underwent cosmetic surgery to perfect the ruse, or maybe he's relying on his uncanny ability to mimic Tony's mannerisms. After all, Andre has spent a lifetime studying his brother, envying him, plotting against him. Who better to impersonate Tony than the man who's always wanted to be him? The timing also raises questions. Tony's return to Salem came after a period of absence, a convenient gap that could have given Andre the opportunity to slip into his brother's life. And what about the real Tony? The thought is almost too painful to consider, but we have to face the possibility. Is Tony dead? Has Andre eliminated his brother to take his place? Or is Tony out there somewhere, fighting to reclaim his identity? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the uncertainty is driving fans wild. The fallout, Salem on the brink. If Andre is indeed posing as Tony, the implications for Salem are catastrophic. The DiMera family is already a powder keg, with rivalries and betrayals simmering just beneath the surface. Andre's presence would throw gasoline on the fire, pitting family members against each other and threatening to tear the dynasty apart. Chad, EJ, and Kristen, all vying for their own piece of the DiMera legacy, would be blindsided by the revelation that their brother isn't who he claims to be. And what about Anna, Tony's devoted wife? The thought of her living with an imposter, sharing her life with a man who's been lying to her face is enough to break any fan's heart. Beyond the DiMera family, Andre's schemes could ripple across Salem, ensnaring everyone from the Hortons to the Bradys. His history of manipulation means no one is safe. Friendships could crumble, alliances could fracture, and old wounds could be reopened. If Andre is pulling the strings, we're in for a roller coaster of drama that will leave Salem forever changed. The fans weigh in, a fandom divided. The Days of Our Lives fandom is no stranger to wild plot twists, but this one has sparked a debate unlike any other. On X, fans are split down the middle. Some are convinced that Tony is Andre, pointing to his out-of-character behavior and the show's history of doppelganger storylines. This has Andre written all over it, one user posted, citing Tony's sudden ruthlessness as proof. Others, however, are holding out hope that Tony is still Tony, perhaps under some kind of external influence, mind control, blackmail, or even a supernatural twist. This is Salem, after all. The speculation has only intensified with each new episode, as viewers dissect every scene for clues. A cryptic comment from Tony about settling old scores sent fans into a frenzy, with many interpreting it as a nod to Andre's vengeful nature. Meanwhile, Maggie's emotional plea has become a rallying cry for those who believe Tony is still in there, fighting to break free from whatever darkness has taken hold. What's next? The truth will out. As we await the next chapter in this gripping saga, one thing is clear: Days of Our Lives is pulling out all the stops to keep us guessing. Will Maggie's confrontation be the catalyst that exposes Andre's deception? Will Tony, if he's still alive, return to reclaim his life and his legacy? Or will Andre's plan succeed, cementing his place as the new patriarch of the DiMera family? The possibilities are endless, and the drama is only just beginning. At TV Days Drama Digest, we're committed to keeping you in the loop as this story unfolds. We want to hear from you, our fellow fans. Do you believe Tony is really Andre, or is there another explanation for his shocking behavior? Head to X and share your theories using #DaysDrama. We'll be retweeting the best ones and diving deeper into this mystery in our next edition. For now, one thing is certain: in Salem, nothing is ever as it seems. The DiMera legacy is at stake, and the truth about Tony DiMera's identity could change everything. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.